So first things first, good morning. We're going to have someone bring us out on the field in just a second, but I want to send a huge, I'm fucking saying huge shout out to Kevin Magna. Kevin Magna just got into contract for over $2 million in the area where he wants to serve, in the area where he's been grinding, where he grew up. I mean, this is a huge win for him because he's going to be able to stack the wins and leverage this one win and start to truly build. And at that price point, it's game over, man. So Kevin, for the people in the back of the room that don't know, what did you recently get in contract for? Let's talk a little bit about that before we get cracking.
Thanks, man. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear, brother.
Yeah, awesome. No, super grateful, man. This was a Zillow Flex that came in like 6-8 weeks ago, and they wanted to see this 6,800 square foot house, and I was like, I've never been in a house that big, so let's go. And but it's been on the market 10 times since 2006. It's had 7 different agents trying to sell it. Check it out. It's 1155 Red Fern in Concord, and it's an amazing house. The owner built it. He's a really high-end developer, built like NBA basketball houses. Like he's super high-end developer. But he never finished his own backyard. So it's incomplete. There's a pool with gunite. There's a cabana that's on sticks and a roof. There's no pool equipment. It needs like $400,000 of work in the back. And so that's really turned off a lot of buyers.
Wait, what's the address again?
1155 Red Fern. One word.
All right, cool. Go on. I'm sorry.
And so it did, but my buyer was like, cool, that's an opportunity. Like I'm down for that. Let's figure this out. And it took us 6 weeks of negotiating, not so much the price, but just the 3 pages of addendum language that we had to kind of nail down. And so we met in person with our agents and our clients twice. And we finally got in a room the other night and said we weren't going to leave until we got it done. And it was so awesome to finally get it across the finish line. And yeah. So it's been killer.
I thought this deal was in Danville, obviously because of the way it looks, or I thought it was in Alamo, but look how fucking baller this place is, right?
It's crazy. It's so nice.
I mean, just think of the level of status that he just entered into, because other people that are in that $2 million market, they're like, oh, well, Kevin was the person that helped this person. He can help us. And then in that community, he starts to establish himself if he does this right and really leverages the success. So look at this place, you guys. And let's be vulnerable. I mean, how incredible is this home? Let's be super vulnerable for a minute. A couple weeks back, if you guys remember, on this call, Kevin had a moment. He was just like, man, I have just been working my ass off. I'm up against the wall. It's tough. I know I'm doing all the right things, and it just hadn't happened yet. And then it turned a corner. So, dude, I love it. And I really appreciate you sharing and being humble, but then at the same time, not letting it shake you to the point where you're not going to keep moving forward, man. So let's all give Kevin a giant round of applause. Kevin, is this the largest deal of your career?
Yeah, so it actually broke the team record.
Wait, our team? Because is it 3? Oh, really? Whoa. Okay, well, we'll announce that once we close. I don't want to give out too much of your information, but I was only going off the list price.
Yeah, Kevin, that's what I'm talking about, man. Thundercats.
Doing it.
Man, look at that, bro. Congratulations, dog.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, guys.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And you know what? Hats off to Kevin, full-time dad. Obviously, we all sheltered in place with our children. Stays focused, comes to coaching, comes to his squad huddles, and just learns. But above that, he applies. And so, Kevin, huge shout out to you. We'll talk about this more on our Tuesday meeting. So let's get right into it, man. I am beyond stoked for you. So really great job. I'm going to turn it over to Cynthia for a quick second. Cynthia, I'm going to have you bring us out on, look at her eyes. I'm going to have you bring us out on the field for this beautiful Friday morning. So Miss Cynthia Peterson, I'm going to turn it over to you to bring us out.
Okay. If I'm bringing us out, we all have to stand up.
Okay. All right. Let me raise this up a little bit. Silas, we're going to stand up right now.
Raise yourselves up. Hey, it's okay if you're not on camera. Just stand up.
Cool. I'm up. I'm going to plug
Okay.
my table.
Put your arms out and just flail around like a freaking crazy person. Just like get that shit out. It is Friday morning. Get your knees up. Like, man, what an amazing time to be alive. We are in such an amazing team. Fucking team fast. Hello. Could we be any more amazing and diverse? Look at all of you beautiful people. This is incredible. Let's go kick some ass. What a sick way to start the day. Yeah, I'm just stoked to be here with all of your beautiful faces. Let's do this.
Yes. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. And you know what a beautiful time to be alive. Like we're designing our website, you guys, and it's just really, really great experience because most websites are all about like, oh, we'll search here and here's all the listings. Well, our website's not going to be like that. Everything on our website is going to be about you guys. You're going to be able to build your own profiles, your own colors. You're going to have your own page. If you want to put your kids, we're going to talk about inclusion. We're going to talk about diversity. So it's going to be a really, really cool website that's going to be vastly different than anything that you see in the market. So let's go ahead and get started. We have some newer faces here. Let me just double check, go around the room. No, actually, everyone's been here before. So awesome. Welcome. Welcome. Penise, did you just come back from boot camp? That's
yes,
right.
I did.
That's right. What was your morning
Crazy
routine?
hair.
Talk to us about that morning routine. What was it?
Same as usual. Wake up, feed the dog, walk the dog, work out, join group coaching, and just continue on with the day.
Nice. What did the workout consist of this morning?
Oh my God. Usually it's different rounds that you have to do, like 4-6 sets in like 4 rounds. This time was 1 round. So it's like death when it's only 1 round. It was 16 minutes of cardio and 16 minutes of weights. Okay. And then, a lot, but I'm alive. I feel
that's right. That's
really
right.
Good.
The blood is flowing. You're shaking up for the morning. So I absolutely love it. So let's go ahead and get cracking for this morning. So I want to share a picture with you guys really quick. And I thought that it was really, really indicative to what we do here. And I wanted to show this to you guys. And I'm going to ask David what his takeaways are on this picture. Let me see. Can you guys see my screen? All right. So on the left side, it's after training, right? I'm beat up, I'm bruised. I go in the gym every single day. I spar with my buddies in the gym. I spar with my buddies on in the ring. I'm rolling. I'm doing everything I can. I'm taking this from like an MMA standpoint. And then after the fight, like look at his face. He's unscathed. Probably got a couple knocks on the chin, but he took those knocks on the chin in training. And so I want to turn it over to you, David, and say, when you see this picture, my man, like what comes to mind and how do you correlate that to what we do in coaching and training? So take the mic for a second.
It's like getting beat up in practice. Make sure your practice is harder than the actual game. So when you get in there and it's like practice all over again. Ray Lewis, one of my favorite football players, always said that he goes in and he practices harder than the actual game. He wants to make sure that the days off are more intense than the days on. And so when you're on a day on, you can just extremely perform and you're on it. You're better than everyone, and you have been better than everyone because you've been practicing a lot harder than everyone. And that kind of photo says the same thing, where it's like Khabib, I think that's his name. Yep. He's a beast. He just like wrestles and fights bears and just goes many. And then when he gets in the ring with a human, it's nothing because he's fought bears. He's fought a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's the mindset of getting your practice more difficult than the actual game. So when you're ready to get going, you can just tear it up.
Love it. I love it. Nicole, you had your hand up. Go ahead, Nicole Penland.
Oh, I just put it in the chat. I said, when you practice harder than the actual game, it makes game day look easy.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Alyssa, when you see that picture, what are some of your takeaways from that photo?
I felt like that was me yesterday with my first time on the Zillow Flex auditions. But I know also that, you know, you're there to be vulnerable. I feel like when you're training, you're vulnerable. You're there to take the hit so that by the time you're ready and you're in the fight, it's like nothing.
Totally. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go over to Lauren. Lauren, when you see that picture, what comes to mind? Let's go to
Hi.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, when I see that picture, absolutely. Training is the hardest part of becoming professional at anything. You know, sharpening those tools, working hard so that when it comes time to actually perform, it's the easiest part.
Totally. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Alyssa, you know, shout out to you. Shout out to December. She was on the call yesterday. Super, super nervous. Didn't know what to do. Didn't know what to say. And we ran through it a couple of times and it was hard. But by the end of it, you're like, okay, all right, that wasn't that hard. I actually got through it. You guys did a really, really good job. But that's why we do this, right? When I asked you guys to tell me about the market, I want you guys to be prepared when you have that hard-nosed $2 million buyer, $2 million seller that is going to ask you the tough questions. You have already ran through these plays, right? You've already been hit in the chin tons of times. You know you can take a blow or you know how to counter that punch, right? I remember doing MMA before and I got kicked in the stomach so hard by my coach. He's like, every time I feint on you, you're leaving yourself open. And he's like, that's why I kicked you in the stomach, right? So I think about it now, I'm ready for the kick in the stomach. I'm at least conscious of that kick coming to the stomach because my stomach hurt for 2 weeks after. I thought something was ruptured in my stomach because he kicked me so hard because I was leaving myself open. So point being is that's why we come in here every single, or excuse me, 3 times a week. So you guys are more prepared when you're out there with your clients. And so let's get right into this, you guys. I want to talk about hobbyists versus professionals in this business. And I have a quote here from Tom Ferry. It says, real professionals will always outlast the hobbyists. There's people in this game that will want to do this maybe 1 or 2 deals a year, maybe, you know, just sell a couple homes to their family or friends, which is cool. And I'm not knocking you, but I'll tell you what, if you truly, truly want to grow in this business, if you want to prevail in this business, and if you want to be, if you want this to be your future and be able to create financial freedom, it's going to take you being all in and diving all into this business. It's a hard, hard business. And if you're only dabbling in this business, it's going to be really, really tough for you to see the level of success that you want to have. And I'll take Amy's example the other day. She's like, man, I'm doing all these things. She's like, wait a minute, I'm a real estate agent. Like I need to focus on the things that are going to make me money and things that are going to grow my business, right? And so I wrote this down that I saw from a blog from Tom Ferry. We're going to go off of this and we're going to have obviously our own spin on this. So it was 12 traits of a real estate professional, a top real estate professional. We're going to go through these and we're going to have some conversations about this. Number 1 was a real estate professional, a true top real estate professional has goals, writes the plans, and executes on this plan. How many of you have been in this business for less than a year? Please raise your hand or give me a reaction down below. So if the people in the room have been here for less than a year, how many of you have actually wrote down your goals and know exactly where you're heading in this business? Yeah? Okay, cool. This is going to be a huge indicator and at least be a compass for you so you know where you're going in this business. Now, obviously, we always talk about the commitments to be able to back those commitments up, but you have to make sure that you're coming into this with a full head of steam and you know exactly where you're heading. Strong work ethic is number 2. You have to have a whatever it takes mentality, right? Move out of the way. I got this. I'm going to succeed no matter what happens in this business. I'm going to succeed. You have to have that mentality. You have to be able to be the hardest working person in the room, be able to outshine people, work ethic, hustle, grit, all those things that we talk about. Those are going to be able to really catapult you in this business. And so number 2 is strong work ethic and do whatever it takes. Number 3, using technology to improve your efficiency. Let's have this conversation. How many of you have set up all of your tech tools that are offered to you by Fast Real Estate? Please raise your hand if you've set up all of your tech tools. Okay, cool. Love that. I love that. If you have not set up your high note presentation, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Here's why. You can use high note not only to send that out to your buyers, you can send that out to your sellers, you can send that out about your community, you can do spotlights about yourself, you can do spotlights about your team, you can do spotlights about the market, you could put in key different, articles and update people on what's happening on the local market. Your high note will give you a look to a consumer that is a cut above the rest. I promise you, I promise you, promise you. It says, what are agents' good tips for new agents starting part-time, looking to transition full-time? Let's go here. That is a really, really good question. I want you to stay on the line after this call and I'll help you answer those questions. So CRM, MailChimp, Real Scout, your video game, right? I want to send a huge shout out to Terry Daniel, because Terry Daniel, being in this game for a long time, she's starting to use tech in a different way. Terry Daniel just got her new headshots. And if you guys haven't seen her new headshots, fire, game changer, love what I'm seeing from you, from Pam. They've stepped up their game. They've been in this game for a long time, but what they're doing is they're using technology to showcase themselves in a more relevant way and to run a more efficient business that they can scale and they can get to that $1 million in production that they want to do. So Terry, let's talk a little bit about this. How have you started to use technology in a new way to help you be more efficient or to be more relevant or to be more, fresh in this industry? Let's hear from you.
I guess first and foremost, I have to say shout out to Michael Spivey, my partner that is actually a social media influencer. So if he's on the team and he's such an influencer, I can't just, take a dead picture and come following behind him, because unfortunately, his stuff is on the same website. So I would basically say, because of Michael, I had to kind of step up my game. And of course, the encouragement from you, Elias, as far as, getting that social media out there. It takes a while to get that confidence as far as being in front of that camera. But when you really kind of go backwards into your thoughts and know that you're confident in the knowledge of your business, it makes it so much easier. Shout out to John for the Brentwood office, the videotape room. OMG. I'm like, you guys haven't seen it yet, but the videos are coming. I mean, I'm just in there just taking over. So you would not have to come to the Brentwood office and try to use that room, because you would have to call me personally and see if I'm not using it. That's all I can say for now.
Oh, I love it. All right. So Terry Daniel, I got a challenge for you. I'm looking at New Homes Lady and I'm looking at your personal IG. Your old headshot is still on there.
I know. We just got the pictures in. I actually just went today and took it off of LinkedIn. So I'm there. I understand. It's like
someone wants to see it. Do you have an ability to share it really quick? Because I don't have it in our Dropbox yet. I just put it on social.
Is Pam or Michael online? They probably can go in and grab it from their end.
Let me see if I can just pull it up. I think it was on my story. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. Let me just check.
Yeah, I'm on the line, but I don't have mine. I'm on my phone and I'm hitting the road.
Okay. All right. So nonetheless, you guys, it's fire. It's going to be dropping soon. But using technology, like, for example, we just set up this green screen room and this on-air room in Brentwood. If you feel like, you know what, I'm just going to make some videos. How many of you are still afraid of making videos? Please raise your hand if you are still afraid of making videos, right? Hey, Nicole,
I need to partner with somebody.
What's that?
I need to partner with somebody. Like I have all kind of funny ideas, but when it's time to get in front of the camera, I've been behind the camera most of my working years.
I'll partner with you anytime.
Hold on. Before you do that, Nicole, this is about building your individual brand. You don't need to partner with anybody. Here's what I want you to do is just turn that camera around, say some shit, and post it on social media. Like, don't overthink this, don't overanalyze it. So tell me this, what is one idea that you have that you want to create a video about? Just one idea that you've had brewing in your mind.
I did one, but I wasn't on it. I like to do seminar selling, and Rhea has been cranking out presentations for me with the that I can use like as backgrounds, but I've actually just not put myself in it. So yesterday I did a video on things to consider when buying a house. And I just used the presentation and actually put it on Eventbrite as like a seminar to help bring in like prospective home buyers as well. So
here's the thing, Nicole, people want to
Yeah.
see you.
I
wanna
know.
see you, and they want to see your beautiful smile. They want to see your cool hoodie that you have on right now. Like just rock it. Rock it.
They
It
can't
doesn't.
see this hoodie. This only gets worn in the house. It's off brand. It says "fuck them kids," and I don't.
Here's the thing. But think about this. I'm sheltering in place. Oh my God, I'm so happy that my kids went to the first day of school. I wear this because I've just been crazy busy. But let's talk about business, right? It's funny, right? It's a funny sweater. Like, so stop overthinking about it. You have a great smile, you have a great laugh, you have a great personality. Just turn it around and speak about the vulnerability, about being scared to do exactly what you're doing. Hey guys, it took me 17 tries to finally put this out, but I'm gonna put this out because I have something to say, and hopefully you guys catch on to it. If not, who fucking cares, right?
Right.
Just turn this around, say something cool, and then put it out to the public. You don't need somebody. If you were gonna use David Hiller, I would use David Hiller as your hype woman. Hey guys, it's Nicole Penland here. I just want to talk to you about what's going on in the market. Yo, Nicole Penland here, right? So if we're thinking funny, right? It's like you don't need to partner with anybody. Your voice, your style, your energy is enough. It's enough right now. Down the road, you want to partner, cool. But I would have someone, if you wanted to partner with it, do a spoof on it. Have a hype man in your corner, right? I'm gonna do one. It's like day in the life of a coach, right? And be like, man, that buyer just said this, and then here I am. Here's your water. Here's this. Here's what you say. This is what you do. Now get back in the ring, right? So there's all kinds of things, but don't be trapped in trepidation. Don't be trapped in fear. That happens to all of us. By a show of hands, how many people were fearful to make their first couple of videos? Please raise your hand. How many of you feel a little bit more confident now that you've made more videos? Right? Look at Cynthia, look at PK, look at people that are doing the videos. Look at Ryan, right? With this, what is this? The running reflections, right? Look at the Spivey Daniel team, like constantly pushing content. So Nicole, let's give Nicole some motivation, some inspiration, and some words of encouragement. You got it. Fuck them kids. Let's go out there and make a video. So I'm going to challenge you. I want to see one video from now till next Friday. I don't care what it is, one video that is authentic, that is real, that's from your voice, anything. You down for the challenge? All right, guys. So that was number 3, using tech to improve your efficiency, your high note, your CRM, your MailChimp, your Real Scout, your video game, making sure that we are up on game on technology. And you guys, that's the cornerstone of our company, right? We are a company that is known to have the best tech in the industry. Let's move to number 4, being a good listener. A lot of the times, salespeople think that they have to have a huge collection of words, and they have to say so much and cross their fingers, and hopefully they get a vote or a buy-in or a yes. You have to truly be good listeners. And what that means is that you have to silence your inner voice, which is fucking hard to do. When someone's talking, a lot of the times what we're doing is we are thinking about how to respond before they're even done speaking, right? Try that dating somebody. They're going to fucking see right through that. Try to see that, like, right? You've probably all been on dates. And when I first started dating Jen, like, if I didn't truly just listen and just shut up, like, I'm sure she wouldn't even have gave me the time of day, right? And so you just have to stop and listen. There's a good book out there that I highly recommend everyone pick up, and it's called Just Listen. It is an amazing book that helps you with active listening, to silence your own thoughts, to be present in the moment, and to respond in the best way based on what they said. Not thinking that you have a reply that is ideal for what they just said. Let it process. If that means you pause, like, it's a really good point. Let me process that. We're so quick as salespeople to come back with something. That's why I love poise in this game. When you talk to somebody like Kelly O'Gorman, Kelly O'Gorman is super poised, right? She's very calculated. She's similar to how Jen operates. It's that they think, they process. God bless you, son. God bless you. They think, they process. So know that, you guys, good listeners in this business. Number 5, the process, right? It is truly, truly important that you guys understand the process and you are able to explain that process, whether it's buying or selling, in layman's terms. What happens is that we want to be a listing agent, right? We want to go and sell a $2 million home. Well, do you understand the process yourself? Well, no, I just think that it looks good and I know I can make some money I can control. You're right there. But you need to be able to, can I, on a napkin at the airport, explain the buying process to somebody next to me? Can I explain that? Can I explain to somebody in the shortest time frame what an appraisal contingency is, why we keep it, why we don't keep it, to a person that is a first-time home buyer? Can I do that in the simplest of terms? Why do you think I push so heavily on the buyer's presentation? It's not because I want you guys to come to, which I love, the one-on-one coaching session. Don't get me wrong. Here, I want you guys to be really, really self-sufficient in understanding the buying process. How many of you feel that you could walk into a listing presentation right now and fucking crush it? Okay, let me see some reactions. Let me see some. So I see some smiles.
Yep.
Good. I love that. If you don't know the process, how can you walk into it confidently and be able to understand it? How can you break down the seller net sheet if you don't understand it? How can you break down the marketing timeline if you don't understand it? So the process, number 5, is understanding and truly understanding the process from start to finish. You guys should be able to run through it. It should be fluid. You guys have practiced on it so much that when you're live with the consumer, you're not practicing on a consumer. Number 6, setting clear expectations and boundaries with your clients. It is okay to say no. It is okay to be protective of your time, your energy, right? They need to know that, hey guys, I'm going to be out of pocket for the next 2 hours. If you need anything, text me. And as soon as I'm out of my meeting, I'm going to get right back to you guys, right? We understand. And one of the next one is being able to, respond quickly to inquiries. I get that. But also being able to set clear boundaries that these people are not going to walk all over you. Sometimes it happens. We get so hungry that we let them lead the way. You guys are more important. Cynthia's dealt with this before. She's dealt with burnout before. She's dealt with being stressed and being pulled in multiple different directions. You guys need to set your own boundaries like you do in your own personal relationships. It's important, right? We all have relationship boundaries. We need to make sure that we have business boundaries and business, non-negotiables as well. And it's okay. If you tell a client, hey, I'm going to be out of pocket, I'm going to be camping for tomorrow, but if you have any requests, just text me or email me. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Might be about an 8-hour delay. Cool, I understand that. Or if you need some help, I'm going to have my partner, Kelly Gorman, help you while I'm away. That's it, you guys. Set healthy boundaries and set clear expectations within your business. Number 7, delegate. Highest and best use of your time. I say this all the time. If you're not utilizing your VAs, then you guys need to make sure. If this is a job that is going to be a $20 an hour job, then have the VAs do it. Why? Because I want you guys focusing on the $250, $500 an hour type of activities. Things are going to move your own needle and put money into your pocket. If there's things and resources that we have as a company that you guys can use, tap into that. But what happens is that we love control, right? How many people are guilty of that? We love that control, right? It happens to the best of us. So being able to delegate when you need it and being able to take things off your plate. PK, go ahead.
No, I was just relating that I suffer with control.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Another thing, this is number 8. Let me pull up my notes here. It is market in a modern way. I really like this one because we have to think about this in a totally multifaceted approach. Are you text message marketing? Are you email marketing? Are you video marketing? Are you using social to market yourself? So you take this multifaceted approach to really marketing yourself in a modern way. Why? Because your consumers are pretty savvy people. And I'm going to share this with you right now. Your consumers are really, really savvy. It says they market themselves in their home. The agents market themselves in their homes and sell in a modern way, using the best tools, mediums, MLS, video, direct mail, online ads to generate the most exposure and hyper local response. If your marketing plan isn't performing, then you need to change it and you need to switch it up. Some of you might not even have a marketing plan right now. It's okay. It's all right. We can develop it together and you guys can develop it, hit me with it, like, hey, what do you think about this marketing plan? But you have to make sure that you are marketing in a very, very modern way, because who right now is the largest population of people that are buying homes?
Millennials.
Say again?
Millennials.
Totally. And where are millennials? Millennials are on social, right? Millennials are savvy. Millennials are way more advanced than I was at their age. So, okay, hold on really quick, you guys. PK, talk about some modern ways that you feel that you're marketing right now. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. So I don't know. I'm not the best person to talk about marketing strategies. I've just been putting stuff on social media. That's about it. I don't really have any other marketing outlets right now aside from Instagram, which I don't think is sufficient.
Okay, what
PK,
about
you're so
the,
modest.
yeah,
PK's
totally.
PK's videos are so good and funny. Like, let me talk them up for you.
This one?
Thank you.
This one? Like, yeah, I think your stuff is fire. I think it's great. I think what you're doing is modern. So it's like, well, how do we leverage that? And then how do we create even more cool templates such as, you know, MailChimp? And how do we build something that is really cool? And how do we continuously do this? How do we do what you're doing on Instagram, put it on LinkedIn, put it on Facebook, and continue to build what you're doing? Because I love your videos and I think they're quirky. I think they're fun. I think they're real. I think that you have great content. So it's like, build off of that. And like, and your dog, and like, you have some really, really good content already. So I agree with me. And I think what you're doing is really, really fire. It's just now, how do we go all in and multiply your efforts? Does anyone else want to share something that they feel that they're doing to market themselves in a super, super modern way?
Do you guys use Core Listing Machine?
Never heard of it. We use Core Fact.
Okay, so I'm big on automation with posting, just because when you're working, you really don't have time to be sitting on social media like that. And then, like, you know, searching and trying to find posts. So I use Core Listing Machine. It's in the lead generation thing in KV Core. And it's like $50 a month, but it goes in and automatically posts content to your Instagram, your Facebook, and LinkedIn. Is it Facebook? Yeah. And then no, your Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And then there's areas where you can go in and add posts as well, but that way you can schedule out your calendar. And then also with Facebook in the business suite, you can go in and schedule out your stories and your post as well. And that's not a charge to use the business suite in Facebook, but you're putting the content in versus the Core Listing Machine. They're finding articles and stuff for you too.
Yeah, see, I will probably be devil's advocate on this topic. I believe in personalization over automation. If that works for you, then cool. I'm not going to knock it at all. But what we have seen, and you could take somebody like Juanita Rivera. She does like Keep Current Matters, and it was like 2 likes, 3 likes, 4 likes. As soon as she put a video that was her talking, 200 likes, right? 200 likes, because people know when it's a static piece from something like Keeping Current Matters. I think that stuff is great. Don't get me wrong, but I would dissect that information and put it out in my own words. Put it out in my own words. Be like, okay, hey, you guys, I read this article today on Keep Current Matters. I want to share with you guys a 1-minute video about my take on that, and restate it in your own words and in your own flavor. Stuff is good, but consumers want personalization. They want to see you, they want to see your face, they want to hear your take on it, because that's what they're going to love about you. So I love it. This is going to be a challenge for you, Nicole. I love that the automation part of it, but it's going to be a challenge for you. But trust me, you'll see a whole different level of engagement once they start hearing your voice.
I do notice, because I do send out video messages individually. I just don't post videos, but like I'll send like video text. I get response from those, but with the automation stuff, like mostly LinkedIn, people are like, I look for your articles, or I look for your little tips and stuff, and I use that as conversation piece.
Yeah, I think LinkedIn is probably the best format for that. You're absolutely right. All right, guys, let's move on. So number 9. Agents respond to inquiries quickly, recognize consumers' expectations, and are now. Today's consumers expectations are a lot like Amazon. Push a button, easy peasy, results driven overnight. We have to make sure, and I'm not saying that, like I said, we have to set boundaries, but when someone sends you an inquiry on your Real Scout, when someone pings you about a property, we need to be able to respond to that in a very quick time frame, because if you don't, guess where they're going to go? They're going to go to the next person. There's a lot of loyalty is wavering in our industry nowadays, that before it's like, oh, well, they could only go to PK to get that information. Well, they can go and get that information from tons of people, right? But they want somebody that is going to respond to them in a very, very quick time frame. I recommend for all of you guys, remove your correspondence from email. If you are only communicating with your clients via email right now, you're missing huge opportunities. As soon as you get a lead, the very first thing that you should do is you should set up a group chat, and that's the only way that you should respond to them. Save the transaction details for emails, because those are important, right? But your daily communication should be via text. I don't know if you guys are using email for your correspondence. I know some of you are. I would make that only for transaction details, big picture things, but for your daily communication, instantly. That way you have a constant thread of what's going on, and you guys can respond very, very quickly. How many people are still responding via email or corresponding via email on a regular communication? Good.
So Elias, I think some of that is generational though too. You have to know your audience. So for me, because I work with a lot of older adults, email, they really like email. They don't trust text for whatever reason, but do know your audience.
Totally. Let's go with number 10 here. Number 10 here. Real estate pro trait number 10. They know their local markets, neighborhoods, schools, home prices, trends, and all reliable home service providers. You guys, this is why we talk about the market so heavily. People need to know that when they're speaking with Christina Darrow, she is an expert on that area. When they're on a conversation with Daniel Johnston, they know that this dude knows his stuff, hyper local. He knows the schools, he knows ratings, he knows freeways, he knows proximity, he knows restaurants, he knows his shit, right? That's why we talk about the market. So when you get into those types of conversations, you can intelligently have a conversation about your local markets. And so involve yourself in your communities. If you want to serve a community, then serve a community. Get out there, get involved, go to the games, go to the events, go to the ribbon cutting, go to the Chamber of Commerce meetings, go to all of the things that have to do with your community. Get involved, because these are great conversation pieces. For example, if you're looking with a client that wants to look in San Leandro, or they're on the border of Oakland, they really don't know where to be. Well, what's happening over the next couple of years? You have the Oak Knolls development that is that middle ground between San Leandro and Oakland. There is nothing right there. There's no new housing, there's no new shops, there's no new communities. Well, the Oak Knolls community is going to build all of that. It's the old Naval Hospital. So we'll take clients by there, like, you guys, this whole site is going to be developed. Thousands of acres of new parks and new developments and rentals and ownership, all these new opportunities. So know your market, know what's coming. If you guys are in Oakland, know what's going on with the Brooklyn Basin, know how many units are going up, know how they're bringing revitalization to the waterfront there and really re-sparking that downtown meets the waterfront, and what's going to happen in music and the promenade and the new shops and all these things. Like, be able to speak intelligently about your market and your areas that you want to serve. But the only way that you know that is by getting super involved. You guys, get involved, ask questions, show up to the meetings, go to your local association, start getting involved, speaking up, because it's going to help you in your business. I promise you. All right, now let's wrap this up. So They have a growth mindset to maintain relevancy and confidence in their business, because that's what professionals do. So I wrote some notes here, and I put this on my social earlier. Growth conscious versus goal conscious, right? The growth conscious is all about the journey. The goal conscious is about a destination, right? I wrote here, if you're goal conscious, you're seasonal. If you're growth conscious, that's lifelong, right? That really hit me. If you are goal conscious, you are seasonal. If you're growth conscious, you are lifelong, right? This is not about, well, when I hit my 250,000 goal, what's next? No, I'm constantly in pursuit of growth. How do I get better? How do I improve? How do I seek more? How do I bring more out of people? That's the journey. So not just about setting a goal, you guys need to be growth minded, right? You need to be growth conscious and always looking for ways to grow. And I believe that's who you guys are. Or else why the fuck would you show up to these sessions 3 times a week, right? Why? I believe that that's what you guys are thirsty for. This isn't about you guys just pursuing a goal that you're going to hit and then cool, that was, that felt okay. But like what feels better is constantly growing, constant never ending improvement, right? That's what moves me. Yeah, I have goals. I have big picture goals, but I'm more growth conscious than anything. So
Hey, Elias.
Go, brother.
No, on that end, I just wanted to chime in really quickly. I just had to have that same conversation with my son this morning. Just really quick to share the good news. He got a late scholarship offer to a school here closer to play basketball. And I'll give you guys more details on that as we sign the letter. But like kids and adults in general, we skip ahead on to the goal at the end goal, and we miss the steps. So I had to give him an analogy that I got from like the Tim Grover book from Winning, and just again knowledge that I picked up from you. But we tend to skip steps. You can't get to the 3rd floor by levitating. You got to take the steps to get to the 3rd floor. I mean, you might be able to take an elevator, of course, but you still have to go through the steps. And so even when you get to that end goal, it's like, all right, what next? You don't just stop because you hit the goal. It is about the growth. It's about the process. It's about what you pick up along the way. And I had to remind my son of that this morning, because he's already like, oh man, I might get to play in front of NBA scouts. Like, no, fuck that. Like, you have to get better daily, and then what you deserve will come to you at the end. You don't worry about the end goal. You worry about what you can do today. Because if you don't do that, tomorrow will be just the same as today if you don't grow. So I just wanted to chime in because I really had to remind my own son this morning before the meeting of the same thing. And again, I just got reminded of it from reading that book, Winning. Is not so much about the end goal. Again, it is about the growth.
Totally. Absolutely. You guys should be focused on that more heavily. Like I said, your goals are important, but that growth, that constant growth every single day. And I've seen it in you guys. I can go around the room and go endless amounts of people that I've seen grow in this environment. So that was really good stuff to me, and I appreciate that. Anybody else have anything that they want to chime in on, share thoughts, insight? Please feel free to take the mic for a couple minutes. Anybody? All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's go around.
I got something.
Go ahead, Jay.
Morning, folks. Morning, team. Steps are not an exclusivity. This is a statement Grover talks about a lot as well. Just because there's steps doesn't mean that you'll always know where they are, or that there's only a certain number, right? We're pretty much in an, as another author, Simon Sinek, calls an infinite game. So the fallacy is that you do the 10 steps and you're there, right? So Grover talks a lot. He says his biggest peeve is 10 steps of this, 10 steps of that. Like, you do the 10 steps and then the outcome is guaranteed. He's like, there are never enough steps. You're always going through it. So that's where that growth is when you're aware of that. Excuse me, knowing that. Also, to quote him again, he says, one finish line is just another start line. You just got to keep going. I also recommend Winning, totally. Relentless, if you haven't read that incredible book. The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek, Sinek. There's multiple resources of looking at it that way, and it is a difficult perspective to think sometimes without the right tools and attitude, like you're in an infinite game that may seem daunting, yet that is where the growth and the transcendence comes from.
Man, I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. A couple other people wanted to chime in. Go ahead and take the mic. Take yourself off of mute. There he is, the big guy. Go ahead, Ernesto.
I was just going to say, I'm hearing a lot of reluctance to video, and I can totally empathize and relate to your hesitancy with it. But the reality is, a couple things. That's where everything is going. You see TikTok, Instagram recently made an announcement that they're going to be primarily a video focused company, and they really want the app to go away from photos. Like they want to literally go away from being the square photo app to being a company an app that will prioritize people that create video. And part of how there's a couple ways to look at it. I think a lot of us get so hung up in, I want everybody to like me. And what if I create a video and it turns out that someone doesn't like me? I can tell you, I would much rather know immediately which, a handful of people have no interest in working with me so that we save each other some time. I use a virtual assistant to edit mine, so kind of takes that off my plate, but just hearing all of the success with video is really encouraging. Knowing that we provide a room in Brentwood where you can record things, I think is amazing. I hope that we get one in Walnut Creek soon because I could use that. But video is just super, super powerful. Nothing tells a story like video. And back to the story with Juanita, who apparently was just sharing keeping current matters. Like we as agents, like it's noisy. It's noisy. There's so many of us. We all know the ratio. There's more agents than there is listings. So if all you're doing is sharing noise, then you become the noise. So don't be afraid to niche down and find out who doesn't like you. Like I'm looking at Nicole. Nicole's wearing a sweatshirt that says fuck them something. That's okay. That's actually a good thing. Like fuck them kids. Okay. You look at like Kenny's a perfect example. Kenny's our leader. Kenny is one of the most brilliant marketers in the country. He's been recognized that way by Inman. Kenny keeps it real as fuck on his Instagram stories. The guy's doing drugs sometimes. Like Kenny doesn't want to work with anybody that doesn't want to work with him. So just adding a little color in my own experience and getting over my fears of video and just the response that I've been getting and the opportunities now that are coming my way because people are like, hey, I saw your video. Can I catch up offline? Whatever. So just a little blurb to hopefully encourage you guys around video and getting more comfortable. And everybody says, right, we all read the motivational books like, oh, you got to be uncomfortable because that's where the growth is. And we're like, oh, I'm afraid to do video. Like, that's not how this works. It doesn't. Nope. So.
Yeah, love it. I'm gonna pull something up, you guys. So let's just take a quick look at this. And this is going to be a glaring example, right? So 9 likes, 5 likes, 2 likes, 4 likes, 3 likes. Did she create any of those herself? No. But when she created something that was her own, this was 112 likes, right? Look at that. So let's keep going. So home maintenance, clogged gutters can cause a roof to leak. Clean them twice a year or more, depending on how many trees surround your property. Snorville, right? The new home, new adventure, new memories. Cool. Like, why can't you just do a video on that, right? Check this out. She had some crazy shit happen when she was at a listing once. 574 likes and comments on this, or 33 comments on that. 574 when she was coming from 4, 5, 8. And look at some of her traction, 41, 24, 30. The point is, if it's more real, then people are going to want to listen to you because it doesn't become white noise. Anybody can do Keep Current Matters. Anybody, any one of you could sign up on it. But can you take that information, dissect it, and put it in your own voice? Patrick Durant, let's go to you, brother. Okay, sorry, he had his hand up. Anybody else have anything they want to chime in on this topic before we kind of wrap up and do some takeaways? All right, cool. So let's do this. So somebody that's relatively newer to this space, Alyssa, what were some of your key takeaways from today's environment?
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I think that's something that we hear a lot, but I think that it's something you really have to sit down and dissect and kind of consistently remind yourself, especially when you're in new positions, just joined a new team and new environment, and it can be uncomfortable, but in probably about 2 weeks, it'll be like nothing.
And what a great video. That's a great video in itself. Hey guys, I'm super uncomfortable doing this video, but you know what? I was pushed and I have a whole team of people that are going to hold me accountable. So want to create some of this and share my thoughts and energy with you. If you like it, good. If not, I don't fucking care. I don't care. I'm at the point now where I don't care if you don't like it, cool. If you don't care, exactly. If you don't want to see pictures of my son, cool. You don't like pictures of my team, fine. You don't like seeing pictures of me and my girlfriend, I don't care. This is my life. I'm going to share it. The people that will want to join me and follow me, then cool, they will. PK, let's go to you. I don't care.
Okay, so that was really cute that he doesn't care. I think if I knew not to care from that age, I would have been way further in life. But what I started doing is I started reading this book called Creative Calling, which I'm sure a lot of people know about it. But Creative Calling is really about allowing and enabling every single individual to really find those creative outlets and channels within them ourselves. We are born with creativity, and we kind of just like kill it over time because we're not using it properly. And what I started doing was I started to just channel within my creative, instincts, and every single video that I try to create is really, I have fun with it. It's really my way of having 5 minutes of creativity in my day, because psychologists have found out that when you are able to practice creativity in your days, meaning doing something new, pushing yourself and creating something, it really helps you with longevity, with better brain function, as well as increases your happiness. So I think in general, use it as a creative way, like have fun with it. And that way it's going to be yours. Nobody can copy that. It's your creative way, and it's impossible to almost replace. So that's just how I look at it.
I love it. There's been times in our lives, in our careers and in school and in professions that our creativity was stifled, right? Oh, no. Yeah, we don't do that in this environment. We don't say that. We don't act that way. Why? When I'm just being who I am, right? So Mirnaz just put something in the chat, and let's talk about this. She said, unfortunately, right? No, let's rephrase this. There's nothing unfortunate about your accent. It says, my accent and English being my second language is only thing that stopped me from making a lot of videos. How to overcome. Mirnaz, that's not stopping you. The only thing that is stopping you from making videos is your own self-limiting belief that my accent is going to stand in the way for people liking me. Fuck that, right? Excuse my language, Nicole. I'm sorry, Silas. You just have to create it. And if they like you, they do. If they don't, that's fine. But you have an accent, and it's a beautiful accent. So my advice to you is just create more videos. Who cares? I think that your accent is beautiful. There's tons of people I've worked with in my career that have an accent. Look at Josue. Josue has an accent. He's not going to let that stand in his way of making video. Tons of people on the team that have an accent. Do your thing, girl. Go ahead, Nicole.
I was going to say, for me personally, accents draw me into the person with the accent and make me want to talk to them more and ask about them and where they're from and their background.
Yeah, absolutely. Mirnaz, run with it. That is a self-limiting belief that your accent and the fact that English is your second language makes you not be able to create great content. You have.
I would also, Elias, I would also really quickly add something, because I completely understand where she's coming from. Sometimes there are two different things. If you think you have an accent and you don't like the accent, or people won't like the accent, that's just forget about it. Like what Elias said, who cares? And it's unique, and people will start to actually, it's going to grow on them. They're going to get used to your style of communicating. But if you feel more comfortable and more confident sharing information in Farsi, do it in Farsi. There's so many creators right now that are being successful creating in Farsi. And I'm personally trying to also target our own community of Persians that also don't really speak Farsi that well. Like there's a huge amount, like population that is actually not being served with good content right now. So there you go. You have both options. It's either go Farsi or stick to English and just be comfortable with it. Don't use that as a limiting belief for yourself.
Also, I was gonna say, other agents who can't speak that language will rope you in if they have business or if there's opportunities for you to really do it. I can't speak Spanish that well. I was hosting an open house. A couple came in. I was talking to them. The wife was speaking Spanish to the husband, speaking English to me, trying to make everything work, and it just didn't work. So I roped in Ashley. She's a new agent on our team, speaks Spanish and English fluently. I was like, yo, give these people a call, let them know what the deal is. She rang them up. No English was spoken, chopped it up with them, got so much more information that I could even get. And I mean, yeah, like she's like kind of in your position, like uncomfortable with her accent, like speaking in English, but it's like, no, you know, like I can do that and I'll rope you in for something that you're stronger with. So showcasing what you're good at and what makes you different actually will, you know, help with other agents trying to collaborate and work with you.
That's right.
And it's like being the only one that does something is actually more beneficial than being like super vanilla. Everything is just meshed together, you know. That's at least how I feel.
That's right.
Wow.
Hey,
thank you guys. My tears came to my
shit.
eyes. Thank you so much. Oh my
Own
God.
that shit. Be whoever the heck you are, and what a great environment. All of us have came from different backgrounds, but you know, in this environment, you could be whoever the heck you are, quirky, weird, different, who cares? You're in an environment where you are supported to be whoever the heck you want to be. Sharon, let's go to you. We're going to close out with you. So go ahead, Sharon.
I just want to, you know, on the piggyback on that, the one thing, and I don't have the COE in front of me, you know, all that's great, but in your marketing, make sure that you are still marketing to the broader audience, because if you begin to target your marketing toward a certain group that is protected under the protected classes, that is a code of ethics violation. So make sure you consult your code of ethics and make sure that your marketing is on, you know, is operating within that. So I just wanted to make sure people were aware of that, because they are cracking down on that. So you just don't want to get yourself in trouble.
Awesome. I appreciate that. So let's go over Christina. Go ahead.
Hey, Bernaz, it's one thing to hear, oh, be yourself, make videos with your accent. And maybe you're wondering, well, what if that doesn't work? So I'm going to give you 2 local examples that you can look up. Look up a guy named Kevin Cruz out of Daly City with Kinetic Real Estate. Kevin is a good friend of mine who I've known for over 10 years. Really, really heavy accent, Tagalog, Filipino accent. The guy smashes it in the peninsula. The winning offer on my listing in San Francisco was a girl named Fion Ma. I think she speaks Mandarin and Cantonese. Very, very heavy accent, hard for us to communicate, crushes it. So if you're like, well, it's one thing for you guys to tell me encouraging things and encourage me to make videos, but you know, are there people who are successful with heavy accents? Those are 2 local examples that I want to give you that hopefully should motivate you to get you to realize your accent is actually an advantage.
I know Kevin Cruz, and I've seen Kevin Cruz drinking. I can't even understand what he's saying. But I knew he meant well, right? I was holding his baby and he had a couple drinks, we're hanging out and stuff. But yeah, great example. So you guys, let's end there. Appreciate you guys. Really, really solid session today. I'm going to turn it over to Christina Darrow. Christina Darrow, want you to take us off the field.
Elias. Everybody have a great Friday and let's kill the weekend.
Awesome. Did you get your offer accepted?
The real estate agent is being a butthead. She still hasn't answered me.
All right. Well, let's stay persistent and let's nag her.
Everybody send me prayers, please.
All right. Well, prayers up to you. Positive vibes coming out your way. You guys, thank you for all of your insight today. I'm always inspired after every single session with you guys. So fuck them kids. Get out there, do your thing, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye, you guys.
IG in the chat, my friend actually sells these on Instagram. It's iRobT. I have another friend that sells eggplant sweats with like eggplants on them for the guys. I don't have any.
Love it. All right, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Appreciate you all.